At the break, 43-37, Utah State, two teams 7-2 in conference play. Jenny, a moment ago, had a chance to catch up with Justin Hudson, Fresno State's head coach. Jenny, what'd you learn?
Yeah, I actually talked with Fresno State assistant coach Tarvis Felton, and he said the main point of emphasis in that locker room was three-point defense. You talk about not allowing them to get those standstill threes, but make Utah State move a little bit more. As for the offensive side of things, it's getting more players involved than just Huggins. Ball movement, got to start driving the ball. He thought the offense did a better job as of late, especially with rebounding and making that offense try and generate something. But we'll see how they respond to start the second half here, Drew.
All right, Jenny, thanks very much. I will tell you this much. One of the guys I'm sure Coach Felton and Coach Hudson want to see more involved is the guy with the basketball. Taylor, Deshaun took just 3 shots in the first half, and his runner's a little bit off there to begin the second half.
What I would like to see them do is take a little bit more time offensively there. Make the other team guard a little bit. Don't take such a quick shot.
Abel Porter down low to Keita. What a possession that was. And they got a second opportunity because of that offensive kick out by Keita.
And it comes back to Keita. What goes around comes around. Huggins,
guarded by Porter, and nearly a Keita steal. Grimes able to recover. Keita doesn't just protect the rim. Any passes in the center of the floor he affects. Big three there. What a shot by Huggins.
But, defensively, you can't worry about those shots because you're guarding well. Sometimes a guy's just going to make a great offensive play. If you consistently do that, eventually it's going to come out in your favor. And Brock Miller was there. Huggins just made a great play.
It's a foul on New Williams.
Jeez, right in his grill. He can't be any closer without fouling him. No. It's just a great play by Huggins. And I like what Coach Hudson's doing here, extending defensively, trying to pick the pace up a little bit. This works to the favor of Fresno State, not letting Utah State be quite as exacting in their offense.
Keita gives it up. Beautiful pass. Give him assist. And Quinn Taylor, flushes it for his first hoop of the game. The senior from Houston, Texas. Taylor got away with a walk, I believe. Bittner, hard drive. 10 for Bittner, who averages 7 a game. 5-point game.
You're right. Bittner and Huggins are doing their share. Taylor's needs to come alive, and Grimes as well. Taylor and Grimes, part of the reason that Grimes is out right now.
Keita nearly turned it over, and then Porter to the floor. And they're going to call a jump ball, the possession arrow.
And you know something? Usually the first guy to the floor wins, and the first guy on the floor was Huggins. He digs out the ball. Okay? Now, the alternating possession arrow, the ball goes to Utah State, but I say what he did, that's half a possession, because the next time the arrow is in your favor.
That pass by Taylor was probably ill-advised. Taken away by Fresno State. New Williams with it. He's the one who'll get credit for the steal.
And a good job of Abel Porter being up there in New Williams because he's a good three-point shooter, making 2 a game.
Deshaun Taylor maybe got away with a forearm on Merrow, and then drains a 3, and it's a 2-point game. This is as close as the Bulldogs have been since very early on.
And they're going where they should go. Down low, get the ball to Keita.
And he finds a way to lay it in. 13 for Keita.
Remember what I said, the team that gets their defensive act together earliest is going to win this ball game.
They switch, so Quinn Taylor is now on Deshaun Taylor. And Taylor, well, that's a travel. How's that not a travel?
Because the official didn't blow the whistle. You thought it was a travel, I thought it was a travel, Craig Smith thought it was a travel, but the guy with the striped shirt didn't.
Well, it looked like a slide into second. That is a foul on Huggins from behind.
But that's a good foul because Keita goes to the line. As we said earlier, he's only 58%.
Yeah, probably saves a point. It's the second on Braxton Huggins. Not so sure he didn't get that cleanly.
Let's take a look-see. Oh, he got his left arm. Got the left arm on.
So Keita has more blocked shots, Dave, this year than 76 Division I college basketball programs. Not their center, the entire program.
I understand. But what happens is those 76 teams have all made more free throws than Keita has.
Maybe.
He's now 0 of 2 tonight.
He's still a puppy.
Yeah, oh, he is. A puppy with a huge upside.
Yeah.
I wish I had his upside.
Yeah, he's going to be an NBA player. 50-45, Aggies by 5, 3.5 in. Noah Blackwell with the basketball for Fresno State.
I like Braxton Huggins' activity, his cuts, his movement.
Goes against Merrill and a foul. And if that's on Keita, it's number 3. And it is going to be called on Keita.
One of the things that happens with young bigs have a hard time staying out of foul trouble. You may have seen Texas play, and Texas has a great young center named Jackson Hayes, always in foul trouble, just like Keita. Hard time staying in foul trouble. And if I'm Coach Smith, I'm pulling him right now. Maybe not for long. Have a little conversation. Don't run a risk. We need you to stay on the court.
So at the 16:24 mark, Keita buys his 3rd foul. But for the moment, Coach Smith has not taken him out of the game. 20 in the game, by the way, for Huggins.
Be interesting to see if Coach Smith maybe goes to zone at the other end. Played a little 2-3 zone in the first half. And here comes Brito coming in.
Runner, no good. And now this is an important defensive possession because there was no whistle. And let's see if they go at the big man here. Well, instead they'll get a 3 from McGow. And Fresno State has caught the Aggies. We're tied at 50. It's been Utah State all night. That 3 from McGow ties it. Mountain West basketball on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Steel. Find your Steel dealer at steeldealers.com. With Dave Bullwinkle and Jenny Cavnar, Drew Goodman from Save Mart Center in Fresno, California. A matchup of the 2 teams chasing Nevada, 2 bubble teams in the pursuit of going to the big dance. And it's 50-50 in a game that Fresno State has never led.
So let's take a look at the last play here. Hey, if rubbing is racing, bumping is basketball, freeze it right where you are. We freeze it here. You can see the screen coming and the screen coming here. This player is going to give Porter a good shot. It's not a dirty play. It's a hard screen. It's going to be a pick and a pop, and he's going to get himself open. Here we go. There's a screen. He clears the screen. Taylor goes with Blackwell. That leaves the Bulldog wide open, and he drains the 3 to tie the ball game up. A pick and a pop makes it 50-50.
So it's a whole new ball game. Tied at 50 inside 16 minutes to play. Merrill. And he'll let go from 22 feet, a little bit short. And staying on the floor with those 3 fouls is the big man, Nimi Keita.
I think Coach Smith's rolling the dice on that one. I would get him out there, only just to settle him down a little bit.
That's a carry of the basketball, a turnover on Fresno State. Dave Bullwinkle pointed out at halftime that both teams, by and large, took very good care of the ball in the first half.
Well, early on, we talked about how efficient both teams were defensively. They were very efficient offensively in the first half with only 11 turnovers between the 2 teams.
It's been played at a high level, as one would expect. 2 teams that are 17-5 and 16-5 respectively. 3 ball, nothing but the bottom. Brock Miller, first hoop, second half. He's got 14.
I call that an end one. Great job at Miller. Shot fake, the hard closeout flies by. He takes 1 dribble to clear the closeout man. 2 dribbles gets you to the help side defense. So pull up off the 1 dribble, name in the newspaper.
Deshaun Taylor, he's so smart. He wasn't trying to make that shot. All he cared about was trying to get the 4th foul on Queta.
Drew, your point's well made. It's a smart play by Taylor. You're trying to get the foul. I would go right at Queta every single time.
Merrill gets a clean look, and he knocks down another 3. And just like that, the Aggies go back up by 6. They've hit the 3 all night.
That gives them 9 threes. What do we say? They make 10, they win 8, and they lose 0.
They're a solid three-point shooting team, not typically a great three-point shooting team. 35% on the season. There's the lob. Queta broke that up. And they go at Queta. No whistle. And it goes out of bounds to, I believe, to Utah State. No, they're going to say it's Fresno State basketball. That's the good news for the home team. The bad news is there's only 2 seconds on the shot clock. Blackwell will inbound underneath.
So you only have time for a catch and a dribble. You don't have time for a second pass.
Got to get it in bounds, though. And they get it in bounds 28 feet from the hoop. That is good for 3. Deshaun Taylor. And he's coming up the floor, and he and Merrill are laughing at each other, having a little conversation.
What's the phrase? Sometimes it's better to be lucky than be good.
Yes.
He was lucky on that one.
Boy, this is fun. And there's still almost 14 minutes left. Away from the basketball, a foul on Taylor.
So Taylor gets the foul here, but now we see the 3. Merrill does a great job. He doesn't want to foul him. He gets away. That's a prayer, and it goes in. How about that? All right, out of the bounce.
Here's Merrill, and Sam's going to get it back.
Well, Taylor didn't block him out, and you got to know that Sam's going to follow his shot.
And Brito lays it up. Lays it up and in. 7 for Diogo Brito, the junior from Portugal.
Well, he had 15 against UNLV on Saturday, and he's backing that up with another good performance tonight.
New Williams is all alone. Shoot it. New Williams knocks it down.
That was a miscommunication. This is a team that defensively is very good about talking with each other. But I think what happened was Queta there normally would have switched out, but he didn't want to aggressively switch out with the 3 fouls.
Merrill drives, leans, no good. And a rebound of Fresno State, 3-on-2 the other way.
We got numbers.
Taylor against Miller, gives it up. Blackwell, no good.
They had numbers, but the Aggies did a great job in the second half of defensive transition.
Queta with his 10th rebound. Merrill drives and makes the layup. 14 now for Sam Merrill. New Williams out of the corner. Nothing but the cords for Williams.
You got to know he's a shooter. You got to be there on the catch and take the shot away from Williams. He averages, as I said, 2 made threes a ball game.
He's got 42 on the season. It's a 2-point game.
You know, this game is worth the price of admission, especially when somebody else is buying my ticket. This is a heck of a game.
No question. Both teams now are 9 for 18 from three-point land. Queta will turn over that left shoulder. Jump hook is good.
When he's talking to Grimes going back there, he may be from Portugal, but he's learned to trash talk in the U.S.
trash talk in any language, right? 16 points, 10 rebounds for Keita, playing with those 3 fouls.
Do you think Grimes understood his Portuguese?
Yeah, I think there's universal trash talk language. Timeout, 11:02 to play. 62-58, Utah State in the game. Fresno State has not led.
Utah State leading Fresno State 62-58. They're also leading them on the glass. 22 rebounds for the Aggies to 18 for the Bulldogs. Let's take a look at the rebound leaders in the Mountain West Conference. Nico Carvacho tops in the nation. 12.7 a game. Jordan Caroline from Nevada right behind him. And then you have 2 on the court today, and Nate Grimes, who's leading all Bulldogs with 5 rebounds right now. He usually averages 9.5. And Keita averages 8.9. But right now, 11 rebounds so far for the 6'11 freshman. And he seems to step up in these games where he's matching up against the guys in the conference a little bit better than him. When he faced Carvacho, he had 11 rebounds against CSU, 10 against Nevada, 9 in the last meeting at Fresno State. I have a feeling we're going to see this number only increase, Drew, in this game from the 11 it's at right now.
Yeah, he's taking a break right now, but Coach Smith has shown confidence in the fact that he's a mature freshman, and he's letting him go with 3 fouls. There's a strong move by Huggins, back to a 2-point game.
Huggins ain't going away.
No,
he's here for the duration.
Well, he and Taylor aren't going away, because Taylor, I guarantee you, is going to be a big part of the final 10:39.
Well, it wasn't first team all-conference last year for no reason at all. This guy can really play. He was hurt, like you said, missed 4 games earlier this year, which slowed him down a tad. He's still a great player.
He had that bad elbow. He hyperextended it. And that's why he's wearing a sleeve on that elbow.
And we've been talking about the jobs that Huggins has done offensively. That possession, it was a defensive job. He was right in the grill of Merrill when he shot the jumper.
Here's Blackwell with it. He'll pull up from 17. He knocks it down. Tied at 62. What a shot. Six for Blackwell. Quinn Taylor. And nearly stolen by Brito from behind.
I think you can see in Taylor the pace of this game, and Quinn Taylor, the pace of the game is taking a little toll on him. He didn't have his legs into that shot. I think he's a little fatigued.
Well, the pace of this game is 80 plus. Now, Utah State averages about 80 a game. Fresno State about 76, but with their defensive resumes coming in, you didn't think it would be played at that number.
No, not agreed completely.
Taylor gets it back and scores the basketball. First lead of the night for Fresno State. It's Deshaun Taylor.
And New Williams doing a good job at Abel Porter, working the ball up and down the floor.
That may have been off Taylor, excuse me, off Porter, it was. And the big man's coming back on the floor, Keita. Here's Deshaun Taylor. Contact, and he gets his own rebound in there with the trees.
He doesn't give up on the play. The first shot, he could have been upset and he thought he got fouled. He stayed after it.
He's one of the toughest players in the Mountain West Conference. And that is something that folks like you and me have been saying for 3 years.
Oh, remember, he was originally a walk-on here. Originally a walk-on, earned a scholarship, and became all-conference.
Yeah, he started his career at UMKC, University of Missouri, Kansas City. Had a good freshman year there, then transferred back to Fresno, and as you said, walked on. There's a steal, but a travel. Lazaro Rojas momentarily had the steal.
Rojas with the steal. You can see him trying, just can't quite get his balance or get rid of the ball fast enough. You got to call that.
Well, how does Utah State handle a situation where they felt like they were going to run away and hide at different points in the first half? And again, they've led the whole game, but now they're behind. It's only 2 points, but
they're a tough team. They've won a lot of close games. What a pass.
Great pass. Quinn Taylor finishes. That is gorgeous basketball.
What really jumps out is their ability to pass the ball. They're not just being willing and being unselfish, but their passing ability.
You can talk all you want about unselfishness, but you got to have it in your DNA.
And have it in your DNA, but also have some passing skills, vision, and other things.
Bittner with 13 now. Big shot for the senior from Las Vegas.
Career high is 18. He's getting close already.
67-64. For the tie, Brito no good, but Quinn Taylor comes away with it. That'll tie it up. Porter with a three.
You know the phrase, Drew, the extra pass? How many times have the Aggies made the extra pass? Merrill had an open jumper. He made the pass to get a wide open jumper.
16 assists for Utah State tonight. Here's Blackwell, his three ball. And another rebound to Keita. It's going to be a set play called by Craig Smith.
Little pitch post action here, running off the elbow.
And that's a foul. Takes us to a timeout also, as the shot clock and the game clock have all gone off here. We'll see if they get that straightened out. We're tied at 67. Mountain West Basketball on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Maaco. Visit your local Maaco and turn the car you drive into the car you love. And by your Utah Toyota dealers. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. Drew Goodman, Dave Bullwinkle, Jenny Kavnar. Well, this game has lived up to the billing. The two teams just a game behind Nevada. It's the 6th-ranked team in the country, and they have gone at one another. 7-11 left in the game. We're tied at 67.
A little 4 flat on the baseline look. They go right over the top to Keita if they wanted to. Right there. And he gets Merrill off the screen by Miller.
Keita, Dave, has a chance at a real college rarity, a triple-double. 16 points, 12 rebounds. He has 6 assists. Porter's foul.
And those 6 assists already double his previous career high, which was 3.
New Williams picks up the foul. There are 5 team fouls now on Fresno State, just 1 on Utah State. But here's Abel Porter, and he misses the free throw. Tell you a great story about Abel Porter. He was a walk-on, childhood friend of Sam Merrill's. They played together since they were about 10 years of age. Abel Porter, before the New Mexico game after practice, was told by Craig Smith, along with Justin Bean, that they were awarded scholarships. Well, their teammates went nuts. Next game against New Mexico, he hit a game-winning 3 to beat the buzzer. Earned a scholarship right there.
No question about it. Smart move by Coach Smith. Back in the zone that time, it slowed the Bulldogs down a little bit, gave him a different look. Good move coming out of the dead ball.
All alone is Keita. How do you lose him?
Still got him in his 11 defense. It was the 2-3 zone. They don't play much zone, but they needed it against the Bulldogs because the Bulldogs were getting that offensive rhythm.
3-point lead again for Utah State. Deshaun Taylor nowhere to go. Monster 3, Huggins. And Williams somehow gets it back. And Utah State failed to corral the rebound.
Got to finish the possession off. The defensive possession has to be finished off with a defensive rebound.
Grimes had what would have been a layup, and he just lost possession of it. Keita, that'll be assist number 7 if it goes down. Instead, another rebound for Keita. Boy, has he been dominant.
You know those trips that the staff from Utah State took to Portugal, those flights to Lisbon, they paid off tonight.
Here's Grimes, open floor. Merrill commits a foul. And Grimes wanted to go back at Merrill. Huggins wrapped him up. And that was just a good, hard foul. He wanted to put him at the line, not give him an easy bucket. There's nothing wrong with that play. In fact, he came close to getting all basketball.
And that's just, Grimes to me just showed a little more maturity and understand this was just part of basketball. There was nothing flagrant or dirty or anything. But a great job by Huggins of going, you mentioned it, Drew, wrapping Grimes up so he wouldn't lose his composure.
No, you can't afford a technical foul in this game, in this situation with 5:27 left. So Grimes at the line. 6 points tonight for Grimes.
Do note this, that's Merrill's third foul. Excuse me, I apologize, not Merrill.
Just two.
Just two, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong number on the scoreboard.
New Williams out, Noah Blackwell in for Fresno State.
I think that Coach Hudson likes Noah Blackwell's length defensively.
And both free throws missed, and then a silly foul by Huggins on Merrill. And that is number 6.
His third personal. 16.
You go back to that foul, the hustle play by Merrill. It's a huge play. Prevented what would have been an easy bucket, a dunk on a run out by Grimes.
And you foul a guy that's not a good free throw shooter, and that proved prophetic because he missed the shots.
But you gotta hate if you're Coach Smith, you work from when you're young on getting the ball in bounds in that situation, and they had to burn a timeout. Utah State leading 70-67 with 5:25 to go. Conference standings tonight brought to you by your Colorado Chevy dealers. Nevada, 6th ranked in the nation. Their only loss came at the pit in Albuquerque. And then you have Utah State and Fresno State. Remember, Fresno State won in Logan by a point on a three-pointer with 5 seconds left by Braxton Huggins.
And, you know, we all know how good Nevada is, but let's not concede the championship to them. These teams are only a game behind.
You can't. And I'm with you. You said this at the top of the broadcast. The Mountain West deserves 2 teams in the tournament. And there's a high likelihood, if there are 2, it's going to be the other team will be one of these 2. Utah State came into the gymnasium tonight having won 6 straight. Merrill gives it up. 6 on the shot clock. Boy, he's had a hot hand all night. Brock Miller, 17 for Miller. Kind of quiet points if that's possible.
Good lift on into his shot. Great job with a shot fake and then one hard dribble to clear the defense. He's very good at that.
Yep, he can shake free on his own, trying to close out late on Huggins, and Huggins missed an open shot. Merrill got the rebound. 6-point lead
and one of the
for Utah State. This is a big defensive possession now for Fresno State.
Yeah, they need to stop here so they don't lose contact. Looking to get the ball inside to Tatum.
There's a steal, and they're going to say change of possession. They have to reset the shot clock. That was a steal, and that's a break, really, for Utah State.
A huge
I don't
break.
know if they're going to get a shot off, Coach.
No, I don't think they were. And they said that the man who intercepted the ball had good enough control of it. It wasn't like he tapped it back. He caught it and threw it. And Randy McCall, who's as good official as there is in the country, is explaining to Justin Hudson that it didn't make any difference he's falling out of bounds. He had his hands on it. He caught it. It wasn't a tap. Yep. He did possess the ball.
So a fresh 30 for Utah State. They'll run it in all likelihood inside 4 minutes here. Utah State was down by 3. Remember that? They're in the midst of a 9-0 run. They had a 13-0 blitz in the first half.
That was a great piece of offense. Merrill just misfired on the jumper. They did a great job with a weak side down screen.
Taylor challenges, goes outside for Bittner. Here's Huggins. Ooh, he almost dragged that pivot foot. And Taylor challenges the big man and finishes. Big hoop to Sean Taylor. They've been saying that for 3 years here at Fresno.
See, Cada has to understand now, at this point in the game, he has to try to block that shot under 4 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't pick up, he never picked up his force, so he's good to go. Passing out of a double team. Porter for 3. Huggins the rebound.
Back into the zone.
Oh, that's a mighty block. But it goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Fresno State. We will stop play for a moment. 73-69, Utah State by 4. Late. 73-69, Utah State leading by 4. A moment ago, Nini Cada with his 3rd block of the game. That ties the single-season block record ever at Utah State. That's his 59th swat of the year. You know what's been key? Deshaun Taylor, who lives at the free throw line. You mentioned 240 free throw attempts a year ago. You know how many he's had tonight?
0. Nada.
And that's all because of the presence of Cada. It's not just the shots he blocks. He influences every trip that you think you're going to make into the painted area.
On the inbounds play, they changed the inbounds passer. Look for a little flex action off the inbounds pass. That's a screen along the baseline and a down screen on the weak side.
Here's a ball screen for Huggins. Couple of shot fakes, nothing there. Here's Taylor against Merrill. They've been battling all night.
They've been battling for a couple of years.
Yep. Taylor leans in, blocked again by Cada. No change of possession, 2 to get one off, and another block, but a late whistle. And that is not on Cada, it's on Merrill underneath.
So what you see, Merrill's feet are inside the restricted arc. That's the reason it's a foul call coming up here. He reaches.
It wasn't on that sequence. It was on the sequence after that.
Right. That was the block. The next one was the offensive rebound. And finally, you talked about Taylor getting to the line. Here he is. You know, he's the all-time free throw percentage leader at Fresno State.
Taylor, good clutch with his 13-point, 3-point game. Well, remember a moment ago, Dave, Utah State was in the middle of a 9-0 run. They had the basketball. If they hit a shot, they could have gone up by 8 or 9. Fresno State ended up getting a stop, and now they're within 2.
Remember we said they like to press on the made free throw. I'd double back out of this and take the ball out of Merrill's hand. Double up on him out of the bat.
They use Cada to reverse the basketball. Merrill found a lane, and the layup stays. Boy, it sat up there on a rim for, seemed like an eternity. 16 for Sam Merrill.
Yeah, but good things happen to good players. It goes in the basket. For me, that thing would have bounced right out.
Timeout for Fresno State.
So this will be a short timeout.
This is a 30-second timeout, 75-71.
And it leaves both teams with 2 timeouts left.
No lull in this game. It's really been a joy to watch throughout. Both teams, for all of their defensive statistics that are so glowing, both teams have shot above 50% tonight.
So I think
KenPom ratings. Now, you know, a lot of people look at those coming in. Utah State was 41st in the country. Fresno State was higher than that. They were 64th. What hurts these two schools a little bit is their schedule. 199 for Utah State, 221st for Fresno State. Taylor gives it up. Bittner stabs it. Huggins, 3-ball. Just a little bit off, and Cada terminates that possession. 1:50 to play. Aggies with the basketball and a 4-point advantage.
No need to panic right now for the Bulldogs. Just play good, solid man-to-man defense. There's plenty of time left. A minute 40 is an eternity. My wife calls it basketball time. A minute 40 could go for 12 minutes.
Merrill gets a 3 off. Short. Good defense there, just like you talked about.
Yeah, Deshaun Taylor closed out, and that forced Merrill to pull the string, trying to get the ball off faster than he wanted to.
And Huggins finishes at the other end, back to a 2-point game. Timeout. 1:01 to play. Utah State, they'll have 18 on the shot clock when they inbound it. They're up by 2. Watch this little move by Huggins. Spins and just floats one up.
Remember we said he can create his own shot off the dribble. That's an important skill to have.
He's got 24 tonight. He had 33 in the first meeting when he broke Utah State's backs with a 3 with 5 seconds left. And that was the difference in the game, a 78-77 victory for Fresno State in Logan.
Well, you talked earlier, Drew, about Huggins' NCAA and NIT experience at New Mexico State. Then he redshirts here a year ago. This is a 5th-year senior. He's got a lot of high-level games under his belt. It only makes sense that the cream rises to the top, and he has risen this evening.
Well, your best players at the guard level in tonight's game are all veteran guys, because Deshaun Taylor is a 5th-year senior. Sam Merrill, a little bit older because of his mission, a junior, has played a lot of basketball. Remember when it was the Merrill and McEwen show, and Kobe McEwen's now transferred to Marquette. He's sitting out. He's going to join a very talented Marquette team next year. But this young man, Sam Merrill and Deshaun Taylor and Braxton Huggins, outstanding veteran guards.
So one of the things you have to think about here is Utah State, they may get the last shot no matter what. They have a chance to go 2 for 1 here, depending on how long it takes the Bulldogs to get a shot off at the other end. 8 on the shot clock.
Merrill, and there was a foul on the floor. That's the 17th foul. It's going to be a 1-and-1 as Deshaun Taylor committed the foul. So Merrill, who's a 90% free throw shooter, there's the hand check that was called.
So the best free throw shooter in the conference going there, but remember, it's not the 10th foul, it's the 7th. So it's a 1-and-1. Now, going to the other direction, Utah State only has 3 team fouls. They have 3 fouls to give on any drive towards the basket. Now, they shouldn't commit the foul quickly. They should commit it when the guy makes a thrust to the hoop.
18 for Merrill. Now a 2-possession game again. 77-73. Here's Deshaun Taylor.
Foul him now.
Huggins got a great shot off. Timeout. 2-point game again. Braxton Huggins. Against
here's the jumper.
Abel Porter.
Yep.
So here's the situation, 41 seconds left. And because of that, Nate, if you're Fresno State, you just got to play good defense.
Yeah. So let's talk about finishing games. This is one of the things that right now that Craig Smith is talking to his team about. Make clutch free throws, as Merrill just did. Be strong with the ball. Commit no foolish fouls, and know the score and clock situation. The clock situation includes the possession arrow. You can't get tied up because the possession arrow is in favor of the Bulldogs.
What's the strategy for Utah State, assuming they're able to break the press. I mean, do you work a ton of clock, or do you take first available good shot?
Working clock, because they're going to foul you.
Well, they don't have to
They don't
foul.
have to, but they're going to. You get it late in this clock, they're going to go after you.
Well, I don't know why you would do that. Again, there's an 11-second differential. Here's Merrill. Quinn Taylor for 3. How big was that? 5-point lead with 14 seconds left. It's the senior Quinn Taylor, who's normally about the 4th option offensively.
He was the 4th option on that play. But you know what? When they asked Craig Smith after the game, he's going to say it's just the way I threw it up. Great shot by Taylor. The senior's really stepped up. You know, one of the things that Craig told me, he's dropped 30 pounds since the summertime, and it's really improved his ball game.
Well, tonight, Dave, his 117th game for 3 different coaches. Stu Morrill recruited him. He then played for Tim Duryea, who's now one of the top assistants in Boise for Leon Rice. And now, of course, he's playing for Craig Smith.
So let's talk a minute about Fresno State. They're down 5 with 14 seconds. You don't need a 3. The differential is not divisible by 6. Utah State has been told not to foul. They're going to let you go. Drive the ball all the way to the basket, take it right at Cada, score, and take a timeout. And I like what's happening here. I call this a coward's press. That means you're not trying to steal the ball. Doesn't mean you're a coward. Smart play. They had fouls to give, and they used them.
Absolutely. And I guarantee you, Dave, you've been in that huddle many, many times. Much of Craig Smith's conversation was about the advantage they had with the foul count.
And they have 2 more to give. And then don't give it immediately. Just make sure he's not in the act of shooting.
And Taylor tried to, and he's the, you know what, I hope he's a theater major. I love Deshaun Taylor, but he uses his body and influences officials as well as anybody you will see. Now watch this. He knows a foul's coming, so he's like, I'm going to get a shot off. They didn't buy that one. Taylor got the rebound. Here's another 3-ball block. Well, cashes it. 3 seconds to go, though. 2-point game. And they get it into Merrill. And the foul, and that's exactly the guy they wanted to get the basketball to. But it's Merrill in his career, with less than a minute to play, in close games, 11 for 11 from the line.
So if he goes 12 of 12 here, the game's in good shape. That'll put him up 3. Now what Justin Hudson wants is on a timeout, on the rebound, to call a quick timeout. I'm surprised he didn't use the timeout after the make at the other end, so you can set your press up. Well, the Red Wave faithful are going to make it tough on Sam Merrill. And nothing would make him happier to make this second one and send 5,000 people home unhappy.
Well, Merrill can ice it right here. 3-point game. And he does. And now they can back off. 20-point game for Merrill, right about his average. And there's the 3. It goes, wouldn't you know it, but it's just cosmetic. Utah State, they lost by 1 at home. They make it 7 straight victories, winning by 1 in Fresno. 82-81 final. What a basketball game.
What do they say? Turnabout is fair play, and that just happened here tonight. Great basketball game.
Tremendous game. 2 outstanding teams. 2 teams again chasing Nevada. Craig Smith is ecstatic, and that is one that committee will take note of, because Fresno State also has a pretty darn good resume. 82-81 final.
It wasn't just the win. It was the big win on the road, which carries more weight.
How about this note? Last 13 games, true road games for Utah State against teams above 500, so not slouches. 10-3. 10-3. Utah State improves to 18-5, 8-2 in Mountain West Conference play. Let's go to Jen.
Yeah, with Nimi Keita, you know, you talk about 18 points, 15 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 blocks. I just asked you if you were tired. You said yes. I understand why, but just as a freshman, how much fun was it to be involved in such a tight game like this and a revenge game for you guys on the road?
I mean, it's a hard game. It was a hard game. Like, they're a pretty good team. We did a good job winning, playing good defense. They made some shots, they made some plays, but we kept our strength together, and we played really well. And I think we were a very well deserved winner.
60 blocks for you now on the season. That's a single season record at Utah State. And with 8 games to go, I think that might be shattered a bit more. What does that feel like for you to know that you've made your stamp on this program so early?
I mean, it's something really good for me. Nobody knew about me when I came here, and now I'm playing really well, and I think it's praises to God and all my teammates and all my coaches, and it's really good for me to be here, and I evolved a lot from the beginning of the year, and I think I'm a lot better.
Nimi, congratulations. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Drew?
Jenny, thank you. Well, that young man had an extraordinary night. He was dominant on the glass, and he does that every night as well as anybody I've seen this year in college basketball.
Yeah, he's one of the great young players in the United States playing college basketball right now. You look at especially players on the West Coast, there's not a better post player in the West. And he's only a freshman. He's only played 24 games.
Yeah, amazing stuff. And Sam Merrill quietly hits the free throws in crunch time.
Big players make big plays at big junctures. Sam Merrill.
Absolutely. What a terrific win for Utah State against a very good Fresno State Bulldog team. 82-81, the final. Boy, if you didn't enjoy that, you don't enjoy college basketball. For Dave Bowinkle and Jenny Kavnar and our entire 18T Sportsnet crew, Drew Goodman saying good night from Fresno. Tune in Saturday. It's the border war. Colorado State will be in Laramie to take on Wyoming. We'll be there at 11 out west, noon, back in the Mountain Time Zone. Good night, everybody.